Hey, what's up, Dean? Safe Performance. Back at the shop. We already know the LS got new push rods coming, so these are out. I also made this disc here that I can have cut from plate, and it actually fits inside of that, which this will center. This hole will center on the pinion under the car, and then this ring will keep this yoke centered. So I just have to increase the diameter just a hair. It's tight, but not tight. I almost want it to be like press fit inside of that. So I got that all figured out. I am going to swap that U-joint for a new one that I have here, because I can't get this cap to go. Is it that one? No, it's the other one. And the ring broke. The clip broke trying to get that cap on that side to push over enough. So I'll swap that U-joint. The drive shaft will be done other than getting it balanced. Then the Jeep. This has been never ending. So I got the intake all done, sensors in, get everything hooked up back the way it's supposed to be. Has a really long crank. Then it starts, seems to run okay. I hook my HP tuners to it, and I see there's no short-term, no long-term fuel trims, which is basically your O2s reading air and adding or subtracting fuel. So I then put like a normal scanner on it and go to live, and the O2s are actually working. The short terms are working, not long term, but the short terms are working. So man, that's weird, you know. Shut the Jeep off, start it back up, they're not working. So then, of course, I figure, well, it's got to be in the harness, and I go through and I tear through the entire harness, find another wire down in there. It's actually right here under the fuel rail right now, that one, a brown with a blue stripe. Find that wire dangling. So we have more wires, and this is just a couple of spots that I have dug through the harness. I consistently find cut wires. Now, could they be for something we don't need? Yes, but take them out. It's not that hard. And that's what the guy paid for, but that's not what he got. So everything checked out. All of the wires went back to the ECU. I was also getting a cam position sensor code. I don't remember what it was. I checked all those wires. They all go back to the ECU, like continuity testing. They all go back. They don't like have short to ground or nothing like that. So I grab a new cam sensor. Jeep fires right up. Cool. That's fixed. Checked more on the O2 stuff. Made sure the wires are tied together and grounded and all this. They look okay. I grabbed new O2s, put them in. They're good. Now, I drove it first thing this morning after I put the O2s in, and they were working. Everything was perfect. And runs good, drives good, shifts good, all of that. The owner comes, takes it up the road, comes back, takes it up the road again, and comes back again, and he says check engine light is on. What? It's got cylinder 3 injector, circuit A I think or something, and cylinder 8 injector. And sure enough, you can hear it in the exhaust, the poop 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 poop. I said, you gotta be kidding me. So I unplugged the injector on number 8. Makes no difference. I unplugged the coil, which has kind of the same effect and does not change the sound of the motor. So I plugged the coil back in. I checked the codes after I had cleared them. I checked the codes, and I got cylinder 8 injector because I unplugged it, and I got cylinder 3 coil because I unplugged it. So I said, okay, so it could decipher injector from coil, because I was thinking, what if it's a plug or coil pack or something? It doesn't necessarily mean it was a misfire. So I grabbed my little injector pulser. I just, with the owner standing here, I hooked it up to number 3. We were at about 52 psi, and I pulsed the injector and the pressure came down. You hear the injector pulse, and he went back through, and these are Deechworks injectors. So Deechworks makes a good injector. So now I'm on to what's the issue. Is it a wiring issue? Well, it just so happens this number 3 is brown with a blue stripe. That wire dangling, brown with a blue stripe. Number 8 injector, brown with a blue stripe. So we're back to that, playing the wiring game. So I kind of said to him, I said, you know, I don't think I'd ever feel right with this harness, being that they sent it out and I have had to change so much stuff with it. I had to put a new cam sensor plug. I had to put an oil pressure plug. They have a bunch of plugs just dangling that are unlabeled. OBD didn't work. Those grounds were cut. You know, there's another green wire, another brown wire. Like, at what point do I say enough is enough? So I'm gonna have to call around Monday and find out if we can get a new harness at a reasonable price, because for me to pull this harness completely out again, it's not a big deal, but for me to pull it completely out and go through the entire harness, because I would want to go through the entire harness. I'll peel out the stuff we're not using, like the EGR, oil temperature. We're not using that because I don't think this motor has oil temperature. I don't know for sure, but there's 2 plugs down there that can come out. There's another one up here for the EGR that could come out right here. Like, all of these can come out because we don't need them. But I would go through the entire harness to see if there's bad connections, wrong connections, and that's ours. There's 4 plugs, and it's every sensor, every injector, every coil, the transmission connector. You would literally have to back and forth through every wire, make sure everything is right, good, and that's all off of wiring diagrams. It's not difficult, but it's time consuming. I would estimate it 2 days worth of going through this harness. Could probably do it in a full day, but I wouldn't want to hurry up because that's how you miss stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. But it does start, run, drive, shift. It does all of that. Speedometer works. All the gauges work. That's good. It's just there's 2-3 issues, I guess. Cylinder 3 and 8, the misfires, an injector or whatever, and then the transmission, like, drive is neutral down on that plate. But this has like a splined selector lever right there. So I just need to loosen that, slide it off, adjust it to where it needs to be, so that we grab park. Yeah, see, all those are transmission plug. No idea what that's for. Oh, left O2, left rear O2. So yeah, even that, like the rear O2s, we wouldn't need those wires. So that's where we're at. That is where we're at. But also ran to the bolt ramp today, Edward lock with the little 4.8. It's like a 2018 4.3, not 4.8, 4.3 V6 Pro Charged airboat. We tuned it with Justin, and ever since we tuned it, he's had this weird start where it starts and it winds up to like 1900, 1800, and then it'll settle down and it'll do like an idle hunt. It almost like stalls out at 700, then it'll catch itself and come up to 1200. And on an airboat, that's not, especially on an airboat, you don't want it on anything, but you especially don't want an airboat because it constantly is surging you forward. And starting at 2000, if there's anybody behind you, you're blowing stuff on them, you know, plus you're taking off. So I went over there. I tried to figure some things out. That is a Gen 5. I'm not that familiar with them. And I got one little piece of advice that didn't change anything. I played with some of the idle spark stuff, and I got it to kind of do less of the struggle down on itself, like almost like die and then surge. I got it to do less of that, but it still does an idle hunt. And I really want to get this figured out, because it idles, like the lowest it'll idle is in the 9s, like 920, and to me that's just too high. Scott's boat I can get down to like 725 RPM. Jared's boat was like 680 RPM. Now, all the LS boats on Holly systems, 100% I can get them to idle down, 700, 800 in that area, which is really good for them, because that's a really slow like crawl. And I can make them the IAC I can ramp it really fast down. Once the boat is warmed up, I can make the IAC ramp down really fast, so that they're like starting, it'll do like 1,000 and then dip right into the 800, which is really good for them. They all love when they do that. This one though, being on a factory ECU, I'm not familiar with the Gen 5 platform all that much. It's all torque based and all this, that, and the other. So I really want to figure this boat out for him. So that's what we're working on. Today is Saturday. I'm getting out of here. It's hot. So that is it for today. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Leave me a comment. As always, have a good day.